Okay, you've been busy since the last time we saw each other. We can talk about that in just a bit. But let me just start with you two have been targeted by the New York Times, which we believe coordinated in your case with the government after it sicked the FBI on you. And then suddenly it appeared in the New York Times. So I'm sure you've got some empathy for what Tucker's going through here. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm going to respond to your monologue. I mean, these are the times that try men's souls, Megyn. And it seems like a ripping of the fabric of what it means to be an American. I saw your monologue there, and they're releasing on camera breaks of Tucker being human. Nothing, I think, that's really that outrageous. But I suggest we level the playing field and release the text message of New York Times reporters. It may sound a little bit of whataboutism, but the reality is Tucker was removed from Fox News. I was removed from the company that I founded 2 months ago.
Right.
And anybody who thinks differently or exposes the people in the administrative state or exposes the three-letter agencies are targeted, smeared. They try to humiliate you. So we're human beings. And nobody's perfect. You put anybody under a magnifying glass, anybody, any human being in the world, you're going to find something, I guess, maybe slightly embarrassing. The question is, does the public have a right to know it? And people like Tucker or people like me, I suppose that's our cross to bear, that any text message we've ever sent in our entire life, we put on the front page of the New York Times. Okay. By the way, I'm okay with that. I signed up for that. I'm not complaining about that. But if that's the world that we choose to live in, which we do, we live in America and the public has a right to know, then why aren't we putting the New York Times' text message?
Or what about Irina Briganti's? Let's see her text messages. I'm sure they're absolutely lovely. Although I know firsthand she tries to do all her business by phone so that her fingerprints won't be everywhere. That's why it's very difficult for Irina to file a defamation lawsuit, because we'd actually start subpoenaing everybody she talks to, and they'd have to give up the goods. Right now, I guarantee you Fox is threatening people if they write stories about me accusing Irina Briganti, because she hates to see her name in print. The people who come for you in this way, James, they're cowards. They're happy to smear you. But as soon as you turn the tables and start talking about them by name and their misdeeds, totally different story.
This is if you would have said this to me 2 years ago, I would have thought you were a little cuckoo. This is a spiritual good versus evil paradigm that we're now in. When I started in my journalism career 15 years ago, it was sort of injustice and balancing, like truth versus false. But now it's become a bit of right versus wrong. Yeah. And the line that separates good and evil runs through every single person, whether you're a good person or a bad person. We all have things that we do that we're not proud of. And I struggled with the ethics of what I do as an undercover journalist. A few years ago, I wrote a book about it. I wrote a chapter called Privacy. You have to balance the harm done to the human being with the public's right to know the information. But where we're so off, okay? And I want to read something real quick, Megyn, just as response to your monologue, because I think it's really on point. A journalist in the 1990s committed suicide. Gary Webb was his name. He wrote a book called To Kill a Messenger. To Kill a Messenger. Sound familiar? And he was going after, I think his investigative reporting was on the CIA. He said, quote, I was winning awards, getting raises, lecturing college classes, appearing on TV shows. And then I wrote some stories that made me realize how sadly misplaced my bliss had been. The reason I'd enjoyed such smooth sailing for so long hadn't been because I was good at my job. The truth was, I'd never written anything important enough to suppress. And now we have the decentralization of journalism. We have Twitter, thanks to Elon Musk. I'm back on Twitter. Broke a story on Pfizer 2 months ago. That wouldn't have happened had Elon Musk not let me back on that platform. And you have the decentralization of information. I think something's changed since Bill O'Reilly left Fox and since Beck was canned from Fox. This dynamic has now changed. People are waking up and they're desperate and they're targeting people like Tucker. They're targeting people like me. And I just want to say that I'm okay with anything I've ever posted to any person I've ever sent being aired. You want to do that? Go ahead. But you know what? If that's the world we want to live in, let's go after the people in the government now.
Let's all live in
and air their dirty laundry in journalism, if that's the world we're going to live in.
Look, you did the tough thing during COVID. You paid your people and you pulled your business through the pandemic. Now, doing that tough thing could qualify you for up to $26,000 per employee at covidtaxrelief.org. Government funds are available to reward companies with 2 or more employees who stayed open during COVID. It's not a loan, and you don't have to pay it back. It's like an allotment of money that's already there, sitting there. The program is complicated, but no one knows more about it than the CPAs and tax experts at covidtaxrelief.org. You pay nothing up front. They do all the work and then share a percentage of the cash they get you. Businesses of all types, including nonprofits and churches, can qualify, including those who took PPP loans, even if you had increases in sales. You did the tough thing for your employees during COVID. Let covidtaxrelief.org help get you up to $26,000 per employee. Visit covidtaxrelief.org. 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 Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.